All right, we're here with part 5 of why some men don't fear being rejected by women. Let's go.
Bring that side of her out. So the thing is, when a guy is single, if he's not using an approach that's going to make women feel attracted to him, and he continues using an approach that makes women reject him, such as the friends first approach or trying to be a really nice guy and so forth, then the rejections are going to continue. And if a man is in a relationship with a woman and she's not respecting him, then the rejections are going to continue unless he uses the new approach. And that's one of the things about women. Women are a natural challenge for us men. And
That's kind of what I was saying in the previous part, is that some women, the women who are you would describe as being a nag, like women will try to change men, but often weirdly, and this won't make any sense, is they'll try to like turn you into like some weirdo simp, somebody who like you pull away from your like friends and everybody else. You kind of like they'll kind of want you to like change your personality, like they'll demean your interests, and it's like they'll change you into this like simpering loser who just is subservient to them. It's like they want they want you to turn you into this pathetic simp who they just walk all over. Then they'll hate you. They'll disrespect you for becoming that. That is like super common, incredibly common. So don't allow them to change you. Realize how they're wanting to change you, and you can outright tell them. I've told women like, "Hey, you're saying you want me to be this way and this way, but being that way isn't productive for this and this reason." And then they kind of like stop and think about it for a moment, and they're like, "Oh, okay." And then it just like happens way less. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, like I don't want this guy to be like this simpering loser who does whatever I say and doesn't stand up for himself. Why would I want that?" It's you gotta counteract that in relationships,
they present an opportunity for us men.
because ultimately what that will lead to is them rejecting you, them leaving you, or them cheating on you, as they will just have no respect for you at all. It's what happens. So don't do it. Do not do it.
To level up and become stronger, more switched on, more capable, more able to handle ourselves in social situations. Women don't reward weakness with love, affection, sex, and devotion, right? They are not wired to reward weakness and breed weakness into the human race, right? They are wired to seek men who seem like they would be strong and capable, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's weird. It's so complicated, and it's something that really sucks about relationships from a male perspective. Is I really want women to elevate me, for it to be this like back and forth thing where we elevate each other, we help each other achieve our goals and progress and work forward, be very forward focused, be a team, right? And that like never is gonna happen. I understand that that won't happen. In fact, most women I will ever be with, almost every woman I've ever been with, they are going to try to bring you down. Not like necessarily intentional. I don't even think they know that they're doing it on a conscious level, which is why you have to kind of point it out to them. But it's like I don't understand why it happens so frequently, but it does happen, where it's like they're trying to turn you into something they would never be attracted to, something that they will certainly lose attraction to. So you have to be counteracting that from honestly from like day one of a relationship, from the first date, right? Like you can't allow somebody to change you in certain ways. You just cannot, and it will happen, and it sucks, because you want your partner to be somebody who's going to elevate you, who's going to prop you up, who's going to make you just the bigger, badder, awesomer version of you, the more successful version of you. But you're just not really going to get that very much from women. They're going to try to drag you down, which doesn't make any sense. It's completely illogical, from just a simple practical standpoint. But it's just what happens. You have to accept that, and the thing is, luckily, when you accept that, you understand that it's happening, you can completely counteract it. And you can, um, like it's something you can't talk about to the person you're in a relationship with directly because they're going to reject the notion fundamentally. But you can indirectly influence them to be doing things that are elevating you, right? You have to help them help you, and it's real tricky. It is, but it's something you got to do. Otherwise, you're going to end up miserable.
That's what they're trying to give their love, respect, affection, and sex to. It's a very
And a lot of times when you do try to do that, when you figure out how to do that and you do it, sometimes the woman will be completely resistant and leave you anyway, because they just aren't going to accept it. They just aren't going to do that. They will just continue to try to bring you down. But guess what? That relationship ending is like the greatest thing for you. The best you can hope for is like a woman that kind of understands it, which there are women out there that do. It sucks, but it's how it is.
very primal and fundamental part of attraction. But talking about primal and fundamental, there's something that modern men need to get away from in terms of the past, right? So the third reason I've got here is that why a guy doesn't overcome his fear of rejection is that he thinks in a tribal way, not in a modern way. Right? So for example, in a tribal way, everyone will know, everyone will care, and he will lose status if he tries to talk to a girl and she rejects him. Yet the reality is that in today's world, most people live in somewhat anonymous cities where...
Yeah, like, do men think like that? I found that very surprising. I mean, who cares? Now, I'm a very unique kind of guy where I never care about that kind of stuff. I guess, in those terms, one of the least tribal people ever. I don't care. Like, like I even if my like family and close friends have a negative viewpoint, which no one's perfect, certainly there's things that they don't like about me. It must exist, but I don't care, right? Like, I'm comfortable in myself. I have confidence in myself. So nothing else really matters to me that much. Like, other people's opinion mean nothing. And like, most people should understand. Most people don't, but they should. Is that like I've been saying here? Most times you're going to get rejected. That's just the math. So why would your status be lowered by getting rejected? It's like if I rolled a 20-sided dice 5 times and didn't get a 20, that lowers my status. That doesn't make any sense, right? Because that's kind of how the math shakes out. If you're rolling a 20-sided dice and maybe it'll hit a 20, most times it will not. So why would it change anyone's perspective of you at all that you didn't land that 20, especially like 1 or 2 times? They're not even going to know you rolled that dice. They weren't there. Like, why? What? On so many levels, this doesn't make sense. It makes sense that that's how people feel, like, right? Like, that's why this fear exists in people. But, like, why? Like, no one's around to even see that it happened. No one cares. No one in the world cares. Even if somebody did, you could explain to them that you rolled a 20-sided dice and you didn't get a 20. That's ultimately what it is. Mathematically, that's what it is. It's so meaningless. What the hell? I will see you in the next part. I believe it would be part 6 or 7. I think it's part 6. Yeah. Wow.